Hello and welcome to the Banker's View from Sibos video series, looking at all the hot topics here in Sydney. I'm Joy Macknight, Deputy Editor at The Banker, and I'm joined by Naveed Sultan, who is Global Head of Treasury and Trade Solutions at Citi. Naveed, thanks so much for joining us.
Thanks for having me.
I think the last time we caught up was in Geneva a couple of years ago. What has changed in the transaction banking world over those 2 years?
I think the transaction banking in the last couple of years has really evolved in a positive direction. I think it has become a lot more relevant to its clients. It's become a lot more relevant to the economy. And I think it's become a lot more relevant to where the world is going. And as you think about how the world is evolving, driven by general purpose technologies, mobile, AI, data, and all the rest of it, we believe that the world is getting connected and interconnected into a one single big market. And in that, all constituencies are playing, the multinationals, small, medium enterprises, as well as individuals. And transaction banking is a very important component of the digital economy to service those flows efficiently. And if you think about some of these new age companies who are on an accelerated path of globalization, they need cash management solutions, they need payment solutions, the FX solutions, and all the rest of it. So I think, to my mind, transaction banking has really evolved along the value chain. I think it's a lot more value accretive and is facilitating this phenomena of digital economy.
So this year, Citi won the Banker's Transaction Banking Cash Management Award, which I have to say is a very highly coveted award. What is the secret to your success?
Transaction banking is very foundational to Citi's business and operating model. So if you think about Citi, there are two things which really stand out. One is our globality, and secondly, our multi-geography client relationships. And transaction banking actually underpins both those attributes. So therefore, because of its relevance to our business and operating model, we have been consistently making investments in this business to keep it relevant to our clients and how the macroeconomic as well as the overall environment is evolving. Our focus has been to enable growth and progress, making sure we are facilitating the business objectives of our clients. And we are also embracing this new phenomena of digital. And within that, there are 4 areas of focus we really have. Improving the client experience, making our business more scalable, improving our operating agility, and continuous innovation. And we have made tremendous progress along those dimensions. And we believe that is what keeps us very relevant and help us maintain and, in fact, enhance our market leadership position.
So there's a lot of emerging technologies coming into play now. You mentioned a few of them already. What would you say is sort of the one that will have the most impact on transaction banking in the next 5 years?
Artificial intelligence or augmented intelligence, data, the technologies in the cyberspace, blockchain, all these technologies have a tremendous potential for businesses generally, for economies generally, different industries, and of course for the financial sector. And there are tremendous amount of investments which are being made. There are different use cases which are being tried. And many of these technologies are at an early stages of development. But we genuinely believe that these technologies on a standalone basis or a combination thereof holds a tremendous potential for the future of the industry. If you ask me specifically, I will pick on blockchain. And I will say that if you look at how the financial services industry is organized today, there is a very significant part of the financial services industry which caters for the issue around risk management, trust, a symmetry of information, and therefore I believe that blockchain have an answer to some of those issues, and restoring the trust in a decentralized way as opposed to a very centralized way, as well as I think it's an application across many industries, exactly to my earlier point. So I think we have to watch that particular technology. It is in the initial stages of development, but we believe that it has a very significant potential, and we are very engaged in it at the institutional level, as well as we are part of many consortiums, making sure that we don't let go of any opportunity which has a significant potential or relevance to either our institution or to the industry.
Okay. And my last question is really around what you think are the hot topics on the floor at this year's Sibos.
I mean, if you look at Sibos in the last few years, I think its focus has relatively shifted from crisis-related topics to more forward-looking, more progressive, which I think is very positive. I think it bodes well for SWIFT. I think it bodes well for the banking community. So I think this year, some of the things we already touched upon, you're going to hear a lot about cybersecurity. I think you're going to hear a lot about data. You're going to hear a lot about fintechs, new technologies, things of those nature. And I think industry's dialogue around those, to my mind, is very important, because I think that bodes well for the industry's viability as well as its continuous relevance to its constituencies.
Excellent. Thank you so much for your insights, Naveed.
Thank you for having me.